Now at 6, Pineville, Missouri residents enjoy the nice weather with a fall fest. Plus, the Carthage Maple Leaf Festival kicks off this weekend. We'll take you to some of today's events. And women all over the 4 states show off their fishing skills in a fishing derby in Neosho.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
First responders want you to know having an address posted where they can see it could be the difference between life and death. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Anthony Saviello. Reporter Shamel Odell spoke with Republic firefighters about how you can make sure when you call 911, they get to your house as soon as possible.
The address right here behind me, this is exactly what police and firefighters need to be able to get to you.
When we're having trouble finding those numbers, it just ups the amount of stress that we're already feeling. We're wanting to get in to be able to help take care of whatever situation we have.
Adam Brown has been working with Republic Fire Department for more than 13 years. He says firefighters have problems all the time finding houses because they don't have clear house numbers.
We will come over here and we'll find the address that it's going to be, and we can see that 120 is going to be the 4th house on the right once we turn onto the street. So that gives us somewhere to start with looking, and then we can verify the address once we arrive on scene.
First responders typically have less than 4 minutes to arrive on scene. It can slow them down when they can't read your address.
The numbers, they need to be at least 4 inches tall. If they can be bigger than that, that's always going to be better. It'd be more helpful. It's just easier to see. Having them in a well-lit area, having your front porch light right there by them.
You should also make sure trees or bushes aren't blocking those numbers. Having your address in several locations could also help. But if businesses volunteer to paint your curb, you should be careful who you hire. The Better Business Bureau says, ask for references.
An easy thing to do would be to go around your neighborhood. Look for numbers that have already been painted that you like and talk to your neighbors.
Firefighters tell me one more important thing is that they need to be able to find your house at night. If you take a look here behind me, you can see the house is a brownish color and its address numbers are almost the same exact color as the house. They want to see more of a contrasting color, something like white, so that your house address stands out at night.
Meteorologist Sam Lane joins us for a first look at the weather.
All right, thank you very much, Anthony. It was a beautiful day if you like clouds and chilly air, as we had lots of that over the 4 states today. You can see the clouds really socked in, and unfortunately it blocked the eclipse for a lot of folks across our area, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. Radar is all clear right now, but we are expecting some scattered showers and sprinkles to develop later on tonight. So this evening we're looking at cloudy skies with temperatures in the 50s dropping through into the upper 40s by tomorrow morning, and you can see those sprinkles and showers later on tonight. Looking down the lane, we're going to be dealing with those sprinkles tonight with a cool Sunday shaping up and a slow warm up in our forecast, along with some Thursday rain. And of course, I'll tell you all about that coming up in Maine weather in just a little bit.
See you then, Sam. The 5th annual Fall Festival in Pineville, Missouri took place today at the Pineville Town Square. This family-friendly event featured food, music, giveaways, and vendors. There was also a pet costume contest to get into the Halloween spirit and a Boone house for the kids.
So this is our 5th one, and we started this 5 years ago with just didn't really know what it might end up like, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger every year.
Locals were able to enjoy the festival from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Quapaw Hay Days also took place today as locals celebrate the town's legacy. Quapaw was once the hay capital of the U.S., and Hay Days invited hundreds of local residents to enjoy fall festivities. Quapaw Public Schools put on the event that featured family-friendly fun like scavenger hunts, lip-sync battles, and a basketball tournament.
I'm just seeing the community involvement, seeing all the kids running around, having a good time, and just bringing the community together.
Festivals began at 10 a.m. and wrapped up around 3 p.m. at Quapaw schools. Blocktober took place today in downtown Galena. The event featured multiple vendors, games, food trucks, and bouncy houses. Some of the proceeds will go towards building a splash pad for the city of Galena. It costs about $120,000, and they are quickly approaching their goal.
So if you haven't been to Galena lately, we are growing. We are crazy growing. It's amazing here. We've got a lot of events happening, a lot of traffic coming to our town, a lot of new stores coming in. We are just growing. So the events like this just make us bigger and better. So we're kind of the place to be.
In the evening, they also had live music from Big Smitty, a beer garden, and pumpkin decorating contests. The Maple Leaf Festival week kicks off at Central Park in Carthage with Oktoberfest. The week-long festivities include live music, vendors, and a baby show today. Throughout the rest of the week, there is going to be a chili cook-off, chicken pageant, and even a night of worship on Wednesday.
It supports the community and supports all of the businesses with showcasing all of our businesses who support Carthage in general. So this festival gives back. It was started from the high school with a band competition that they have, and it's just evolved over the years.
For more information of their full list of events, check out carthagechamber.com. Coming up, the Neosho National Fish Hatchery holds its second annual Ladies Only Fishing Derby. Plus, Missouri police officers warn about the dangers of leaves on the roads for motorcyclists. The Neosho National Fish Hatchery hosted its fabulous fall fishing for females. This is the hatchery's second annual Ladies Only Fishing Derby. The event began at 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. and was open to women 18 years old or older.
I believe there were 52 million people in the United States who participated in outdoor recreation fishing, some form of fishing. Of that, only 37% were female. So we decided last year to do something about that, and we had our first ever women's fishing derby.
For the derby, there was a 4-trout limit and no catch and release. A sign of autumn can be dangerous for motorcyclists. Reporter Chris Bryant has a reminder from police about the hazards of falling leaves.
If you've ever hit black ice in your vehicle, well, leaves and grass clippings can do the same thing for motorcyclists and bicyclists, whether they're wet or dry. When driving your car, truck, or SUV, you have 4 wheels to help you when you drive over leaves or grass clippings in the roadway. However, when on a motorcycle, you only have 2 points of contact, which can cause you to lose control more easily.
On a motorcycle, obviously, you've only got 2 and they're a lot smaller, so loss of traction on one, front or rear, can be catastrophic.
Springfield Police want to remind you that when it comes to fall cleanup, to be mindful of how you get rid of your leaves.
They should not blow leaves and grass clippings into the street, even alongside into the gutter. It's against city ordinance to blow them even into the gutter, and that's for several reasons. One, for the safety of motorcyclists and bicyclists, but also for the stormwater system. It clogs up the storm drains.
When it comes to motorcycles and bicycles, Springfield Police remind everyone to keep a lookout for each other.
Watch your speed. Speed in the corners, hitting a patch of dry grass in the roadway will also put a motorcyclist down. It'll add to it. And just watch out for each other.
If you need to properly dispose of your bagged yard waste, whether it's leaves or grass clippings, you can contact your local city or county offices to find out where your nearest yard waste recycling location is.
A little later, the Fort Scott High School Thespians host their 6th annual Royal Tea Party.
And I'm going to be back to tell you when the clouds are going to break and the warm weather returns in your forecast when we come back. Well, friends, it was definitely a chilly day across the 4 states with lots of clouds as expected. And unfortunately, those clouds kind of obscured the eclipse that we had. However, some lucky folks did get to see the eclipse, like Brian Rogers, who sent me this earlier today down in Miami, Oklahoma at around noon. You can see the eclipse there just through a break in the clouds there, but unfortunately, like I said, most of the folks did not get to see it, including myself in Carthage this afternoon. And we're looking at cloudy skies still in place across the area, including Indigo Sky Casino and Resort down in Seneca, Missouri. However, a lot of folks did get to see the eclipse down in Texas. This afternoon, we only made it up to 58 after starting out at 48, so it was a very short thermometer today. And of course, that was way below the normals of 72 and 49. And we had 42 hundredths the other day in rainfall, which has put us a little bit ahead for the month, but we're still way behind for the year. Right now in Joplin, we're looking at cloudy skies and 57 degrees, a northwest wind at 12, dew point of 47, and the pressure is at 30.13 inches of mercury. We have northerly winds blowing across the area, and that's keeping things on the cool side with temperatures in the 50s for the most part. A few 60s down in Oklahoma, like in Veneta with 61, same thing in Grove, 62 degrees for our friends in Nowata, but a little bit cooler up to the north and to the east where it's currently 55 degrees in Cassville. And that's generally around 5 to 10 degrees cooler than where we were 24 hours ago. But we are going to see a slow warm up in our forecast. We had the clouds to still deal with though for tonight. You can see them socked in across the 4-state area. And as long as we have cyclonic curvature of the isobars, those clouds are going to stay put. They're not going to really move all that much. Now tomorrow we'll see a little bit more breaks in the clouds, but we also have a chance of scattered showers and sprinkles tonight. Very low chance. We're not expecting widespread areas of rainfall. In fact, looking at the rainfall amounts, if any does occur where you're located, it's going to probably be up to the north and east. We're maybe picking up 0.05 of an inch of rain, but really not a whole lot to go around. Instead, we're going to see mostly fair skies tonight with the clouds in place, and we're going to see those scattered sprinkles around with temperatures in the 50s. And then as we go into the morning hours, still some sprinkles around with temperatures really not budging that much, generally still lower 50s with north to northeast winds. Then during the day tomorrow, we'll start to see the breaks in the clouds a little bit with temperatures warming into the upper 50s and lower 60s with northerly winds continuing. And then as we go into Sunday night, you can see the clouds start to break up and we start to see temperatures dropping down into the 40s and all the way down into the upper 30s with maybe some frost by Monday morning across the area. And then Monday afternoon looking pretty good with temperatures in the lower 60s. Big storm system has finally moved off towards the east. We have little pieces of energy rotating around it. That's what's keeping the clouds going. The next storm system won't arrive here until about Thursday of next week. In fact, here's the forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy with sprinkles. Tomorrow, 59 for the high. And then we start a slow warming trend with the next chance of rain on Thursday of next week. And then next weekend looks pretty good with highs in the 70s and lows in the 40s.
All right, thanks, Sam. At Fort Scott High School, their thespians held an annual tea party. Attendees were encouraged to dress up in their favorite costumes and enjoy crafts, food, and activities. This year, they added multiple new characters, including Tarzan and Jane, Captain Hook, Tweedledee, and Tweedledum, as well as the Teen Titans.
We have students who really enjoy playing certain characters, especially year after year, and then some of them when they graduate they kind of pass that character on down to someone else who's coming up. Every year we usually add a couple of characters, so now we're at 14 different tables.
Tickets are $5 per child, and you can either purchase online on their website or at the door. Still ahead, Carthage softball is one win away from a district title. Game appearance. And highlights from this afternoon's rivalry game between Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern football. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
There's no love lost between Pittsburgh State and Missouri Southern. The two MIAA schools, separated by just 30 miles, see each other every year on the gridiron in what is known as the Miners Bowl, a series that's been dominated by PSU. The Gorillas have won 27 of the last 28 against the Lions, entering this afternoon at 6-0. Southern hoping for a big upset. First drive of the game, Chad Dodson dropping back. He's got all sorts of time, checks it down to Antoine Squire. Makes a couple of guys miss, picks up about 15 yards. Later in the drive, Squire again, this time takes the handoff, sidesteps a couple defenders, and scores. Gorillas take an early 7-0 lead. PSU up 14-0 later in the first quarter, and the Gorilla defensive backfield was all over the place in this game. Southern driving, Luke Sampson airs it out, and he's picked. Rico Payton steps in front, gets the interception, and we would hear a lot more from the Pitt State defensive backs. Still 14-0. Later in the second quarter, Southern driving again. Cole Sample knocks the ball free from Javion Marlowe. Gorillas fall on it. That's another turnover caused by the Pitt State defense. Right before halftime now, Lions need a score. Check out this catch from Deontay Campbell. Just sticks out one hand and hauls it in. Big time momentum. Heading into the locker rooms, it's 14-7, start of the third. Gorillas take momentum right back though. This time Cleo Chandler takes it in on the direct snap to the end zone. 21-7, Pitt State leads. It's 28-7 in the fourth. Lions need some points. Sampson going deep. Tipped and picked. Dominic Shellman tipped that. Jasper Ogburn is the one who gets the interception on the redirect. MSSU with a late push, just under 3 minutes left. Sampson over the middle. That's Campbell, and the big tight end shakes a couple of tacklers off, gets into the end zone. That cut the deficit to 10, but too big of a lead to surmount. The Gorillas win 31-21 on a day where they rushed for 272 yards as a team.
Those my guys. So the running back room is like very competitive. We call ourselves the three-headed monster because we are like the same running back. Like we can all do the same thing. So every single week we challenge each other to come out and do better. And it shows on Saturdays.
Don't take anything away from them. They're a top 3 defense in every category in the conference. They're a top 10 or 15 in every category nationally. So that's a good football team. And then now they're 7-0. They haven't lost a conference game in 2 years. So that's a very good defense. It's a very good football team. And so sometimes it's not so much what you're not doing, but what they're good at.
Over to local softball, the district playoffs continue this afternoon. Carthage opened the Class 5 District 7 tournament with a 10-6 win over Joplin on Thursday. The Tigers take on top-seeded Ray-Pac today with a trip to the district title game on the line. Carthage facing Ray-Pac. Again, winner moves on to the district championship game. Starting in the bottom of the second, catcher Brooklyn DeLone Main throws down to second. Ashlyn Brust is there. She throws to first, and they get the runner out. Big play for Carthage defensively. On to the other side, Kelsey Donaldson, one of the top pitchers in the state. Tough to bring down. She strikes out the side in the third. Finished this game with 15 strikeouts. Tough to get on base against that. Bottom of the fourth now. Runner caught in a pickle here between second and third. The ball's thrown into center, though. It gets away, and Ray-Pac scores. It's 1-0 Panthers. Later in the inning, Carthage is in a jam, but they get what they needed. Jenna Calhoun steps on third, throws to first, double play. They get out of the inning. Bottom of the fifth, it's still 1-0. Carthage trailing. Check out this play by Ashlyn Brust. Laying out, making the catch. Carthage keeping up with Ray-Pac, still 1-0. Bottom of the sixth, 2 runners in scoring position. Fly ball to center field. Lexi Youngblood makes the catch. Now she's got to throw home to get out that runner from third. Got her. Carthage gets out of a jam. Tigers still have a shot here, down 1-0. Carthage still looking for its first hit. Top of the seventh, down to their final out. Kelsey Donaldson shuts the door. She was literally unhittable. She throws a perfect game. Ray-Pac beats Carthage 1-0 and ends the Tigers season. Now over to the Class 4 District 7 tournament taking place at the same time this afternoon. Nevada wins its quarterfinal 18-0. They win their semifinal against Carl Junction 15-0 today. That sets up a championship game against the 2-seed Webb City on Monday. And that's all for sports. We're back with more news right after this.
Bit cold out there today, Sam.
It was. You definitely needed a jacket with that wind biting a little bit. We're going to stay with the clouds tonight and through most of tomorrow with some sprinkles and some light showers. But we do begin a warming trend as we go towards the middle part of the week with another system coming in on Thursday. But next weekend looks perfect.
Right on. Big win for the Gorillas today.
Definitely a big win. We're going to have more on that game as they get to 7-0. Big road game for them again next week. They play Northwest Missouri, and obviously Missouri Southern trying to bounce back now from their 4th loss in a row.
Well, that's all our time for tonight. Thanks for making us a part of it.